This video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to radically shift your identity. These are going to be ways that I use from going from a 9-to-5 job, doing something I wasn't passionate about, to now traveling the world, doing what I love, just needing a Wi-Fi connection, and how I've been able to spread my message to millions of people seeing my videos online, all using these 3 techniques that I'm going to share with you in this video right now. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 things that I personally have done to shift my identity in a radical way. Now I'm not just talking about a little change in identity, going from maybe eating a certain type of food to eating a little bit different type of food or something. I'm talking about a radical shift in reality. Now, I used to work a 9-to-5 job that I wasn't passionate about. I went in every single day. I worked 40 hours a week, and that was my life. And what I did is I recognized this isn't what I'm really passionate about. What I'm really passionate about is making videos, spreading ideas. And even at the time, it wasn't even necessarily making videos. I just knew that it was like a calling. It was something I felt like I was meant to do, but I felt a lot of self-doubt. I was like, will people even want to listen to my message? Am I as credible as some of the other people that I see on YouTube? All these questions came up in my mind, and it was a certain story that I was telling myself that I was just completely unaware of. However, it kept me in the reality that I used to be in. I used to also be in a reality where it was very hard for me to focus. I had what people label as ADHD. I took Adderall for it. I worked that 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, and I would take that, and that would help me focus while I was at work. But I'd go home at night, and I would have these very harsh side effects. So that was another part of my identity. There was a part of my identity of having a painful past that caused me to feel negative emotion in the present moment. Also, feelings of unworthiness. There was always a woman in my life that reflected back my ex-stepmom's control factor, and my ex-stepmom was abusive physically, emotionally, mentally. And after that, 15 years old, my dad divorced her when I was 15. Never have to deal with her again, but yet I had the remnants of meeting people in my life, and it was specifically women that reflected back that level of control. Whether it was when I was like 18 years old, an ex-girlfriend who was very controlling, or it was that of a manager that was a woman that was almost the same as my ex-stepmom at Nordstrom's and women's shoes, who was very controlling. And that was a reality that was being reflected back to me because of my identity, because of unprocessed emotion. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact formula, the template that I use to completely radically shift my life to where now it's completely different. I live in more abundance than I could even imagined. The YouTube channel's gone from, 3,000 subscribers back in February 2017 to now over 750,000 subscribers at the time the recording of this video. And it's been amazing to see that kind of, and to just be in this completely new reality where I can do what I want when I want to do it. And it's completely different. And the thing is now that it's completely different, it's just a part of my identity. It's just natural. Right? It's just natural. It's not on a pedestal. It's not this. Back in the day, if I were to dream about this lifestyle now, I'd be like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. But now it's just natural, because the things I share with you help to also balance out and for you to see yourself as this, a part of naturally who you are. Now, the first thing that I did to create a radical shift in identity was take radical action. Radical action. I simply decided this is who I am now. So the old identity was me working a 9-to-5 job I wasn't passionate about. And then I recognized, and I had this epiphany, this feeling when I was walking around. I was actually living at my dad's house. I said, what is the one thing I could do every single day? Because I knew that one thing a day compounds over time. You do one thing a day after a year, 365 times of doing it, it's a powerful momentum. So I was here and I identified what that was. And I saw, and I imagined, and I said, if I make a video a day every single day for a year, my life will radically transform. Then I would also be wiring in the identity of being a YouTuber, being somebody that does this for a living. So what I did is I took the idea of making videos, knowing that that was something I was more passionate about than, of course, that of selling women's shoes. And I said, okay, I'm going to take radical action towards being the full-time YouTuber. So what I did is, even though I was over here working 40 hours a week, I would, no matter what, make the video every single day, wiring in this new identity of being a YouTuber. And to be honest with you, the first 2 or 3 weeks was difficult. It was making videos every single day and working 40 hours a week. I had no time to really do anything else other than that. I was really dedicated and really focused on that vision. However, I knew that as long as I kept doing it, eventually it would wire in this new way of being. So that's what I did, is I did that no matter what, and that changed my whole identity. I then started to see myself. The better I got at making videos, the more I did videos, the more natural it became. The first couple videos on my channel, you can go back and you could see I was very stiff, very rigid, and had a certain energy. Now, it's much easier. I sometimes film 2 or 3 videos in a day. And when I do that, it's just natural. It's a flow because I've done this process for 2.5 years now. But the key to this is knowing that when you radically take action from this level of identity, you will create a radical change. Because now you are being that version of you. And then it becomes a part of just who you naturally are. It's only difficult in the very first part of taking radical action. Taking radical action is only hard in maybe the first 2 weeks. Then it just becomes a part of who you are. Now making videos for me isn't difficult to do because it's who I am. Even some people, I remember other YouTubers reach out to me like, Aaron, how do you make videos every single day? How do you put out so much content? It's just part of who I am. It's part of the way I see myself. So radical action, if you want to bridge where you are right now to quote unquote where you want to be or the ideal version of you, make a choice. This also means making a radical choice about who you are. A radical choice that this is who I am now. This is who I prefer to be. That's what I did. And here's the thing. That trickles into so many different areas of your life when you make a choice like that. Those are howler monkeys, by the way, if you can hear those. I thought they were pigs because I grew up with pigs. Those are howler monkeys. So for example, when I make videos every single day, I used to view myself as a lazy person, somebody that didn't take action. Somebody that was trying to, like I was trying to manifest like helping Tony Robbins, which I ended up helping his wife Sage, but helping Tony Robbins and him like seeing me and be like, Aaron, you have a great potential. I'm going to put you on my stage somehow. That was the narrative in my mind. However, then I realized, no, that's not very powerful. It's not very empowering. I'm gonna do this myself. I don't need to be put on. But when I started making daily videos, I then started to see myself, oh, I'm somebody that takes action. I'm somebody that is able to say I'm gonna do something and then do it. I'm somebody that's able to remain consistent on a vision and then accomplish it. And what I've known about YouTube, I can apply it towards everything. I've applied what I know about YouTube towards Instagram and then grown Instagram. I've applied what I've learned about YouTube and work ethic towards many different areas of my life. Because it changed my identity. You see, so radical action. Radical action is also a radical choice. But look at it in the form of identity. Now, there's also this chart that I've shared before, and it has to do with, it's called the logical levels of change. I'll go ahead and put it right there if Daniel, my editor, Daniel, can you put that right there? It's a chart of, it says on the bottom, it says environment, then behavior, then it says skills and capabilities, then it says that of beliefs, and then vision or identity. At the very top where you see identity is, or vision, that's like your identity, that's where everything begins to trickle down. You can change your environment, but it might not be as powerful as changing your behavior. Change your behavior, might not be as powerful as you learning a new skill. You change your skill, but it might not be as powerful as you learning to change your beliefs or your vision about who you are. You see, but you can change at all these different levels. But the reason I show this is because identity really is the pinnacle. I made it a must when I started coming to traveling from Las Vegas. Right now I'm in Costa Rica. I was in Tulum before this. I made it a must. I was trying to make it a must that I get up every day at like 6 in the morning. Because I was in Vegas getting up every day at like 8:30. And I work for myself, so I get up whenever I want, but getting up in the mornings has been so magical. You get so much more work done. I feel so much more productive. I have so much more of my day. And so I set that intention, but it didn't actually happen. The whole 5 weeks I was in Tulum. You wanna know why? I still saw myself as a night owl. It didn't become a part of my identity. Now that I'm here, I've been here for about a week. Every single day I've been getting up at like 5:36. It's part of my identity now. I go to bed at like 10. I'm no longer a night owl. I go to bed 9:30, 10. Get plenty of time to sleep. I've been getting more sleep than ever, which has been great. I normally only get like 6.5 hours of sleep. I've been getting more now, but I've changed my identity. Identity shifting is where everything happens, making a radical choice about who you are and disassociating from your old story. I did disassociate from being a night owl. Now, the second thing that you can do, that I do to radically shift my identity, is I feel the radical shift in emotion. Radical shift in emotion. And part of the radical shift in emotion is understanding that we can wire any emotion right now, regardless of whether we have that thing or not. Now understand this. We say, oh, I'm gonna feel so good if I were to win the lottery or something amazing were to happen. All that is us giving ourselves permission based on the meaning of something. If we were to win the lottery, we give that a meaning. Now I'm free to do whatever I want. You can feel free to do whatever you want now if you're in the right state, and you will synchronistically find yourself in experiences that do reflect that back to you. But the thing that you can begin to do is to understand that you have access to any emotion you want, and during using visualization, you can begin to wire that in. So every single night as I fall asleep, because when you're going to bed at night, you drift into the theta state. Theta is the state where you influence your subconscious mind, and you drift into it when you wake up in the morning and when you fall asleep at night. So the last 30 minutes before you go to bed and the first 30 minutes as you wake up in the morning are the most powerful times for you to reprogram yourself. And what I do is I feel the emotion as the version of me doing what I want, and I imagine that's me, and I live in that experience. And I do that every single night, and I feel that radical shift in emotion. And the more real you make it with your visualization, the more you feel it. And if you tell yourself a story that I don't really visualize that well, or that's a story, tell yourself, oh, I can't really feel that emotion, that's a story. Let go of that story. Realize you can feel any emotion you want, and if you make the visualization real enough, your mind won't know the difference between what's happening and what's imagined anyways. And one of the most powerful meditations I have will be in the top of the description box below. It is on that of the most powerful meditation to manifest while you sleep. I made it recently, and I think it's got over 100,000 views now, and I think it's one of my most powerful meditations. Listen to it every single night for 21 days. Watch how your life begins to change. As you fall asleep at night, as that technique that I shared before, it guides you through that whole entire process and helps you to feel in that emotion and then even to drift off into sleep. So I highly recommend listening to that, and that will help you with this process as well. But realize that any emotion you want, sometimes you might need to change your state as well. But any emotion you want, you have access to as you especially change your state. For example, the other day, Leo and I were chilling out here, and we were both feeling a little bit sad, and we didn't know why. Just feeling a little bit sad. We just got done doing some work, and I'm feeling just a little bit kind of like, I don't know. And we were just like, we wonder why we feel this way. Well, what we decided to do is say, we know what we should do? We should just change our state. And the last thing we would ever want to do is to, even though as weird as that sounds, because that's a beautiful pool, it's overlooking, the ocean, is jump in the pool and be like a child, be like a little kid, and just jump in and just like have fun, because we were just in such a state of like, We did that though, and then all of a sudden we have access to better emotions. We start to feel better, loosen up. Sometimes the seriousness keeps us within a certain box of emotion, but if you let go of that seriousness, then you can feel more positive emotion. So be more childlike, play around, and that will help you as well. Now, the third thing that I want to tell you about that has radically shifted my own life is something called the shift experience, which maybe you've heard me talk about it before, but the shift experience is a radical shift in identity. It's a step-by-step process that helps you go from one identity to a new identity by realizing the falsity, the illusion of the identity we've created. Believing we have to work a 9-to-5 job, believing we're not worthy of a relationship, believing in all of these things. What the shift experience is, it's a step-by-step process that uses meditation to help you to shift into a completely new identity. It is extraordinarily powerful. There have been hundreds of people that have gone through the process that have gotten amazing results, and that's why I wanted to share it with you as well, because part of this process is about being brutally honest with yourself, being brutally honest with the current story you tell yourself. I'm inspired every single year. I do something called plant medicine here in Costa Rica at a place that's legally licensed to do that. And when you do that, you go deep into your subconscious mind and you learn more about yourself and you get those brutally honest experiences, and then you're able to really create radical shifts in identity. But what I've done is I've taken what I've learned there and made it into meditations and into a process that will help you radically shift out of your old identity and into a completely new reality. It's understanding who you've been, the way you've been, the subconscious beliefs you have. And when you change your beliefs, you change your life. And these beliefs make up your identity. So when you change that, you identify the version of you you want to be. I help you become that version, and the shift experience will show you exactly how to do that. So if that's something that you want to check out, or if you want to join the next meditation activation, which will help you to wire in that vibration by giving you a taste of the shift experience, you can go to theshiftexperience.com/meditation. Or if you want to check out the shift experience up front, rather than going through that of the activation, you can just go to theshiftexperience.com and you can check it out there. But the shift experience will help you to bridge that gap between where you are to where you want to be. Read some of the testimonials on that page to see what's possible for you. The meditations there are the most powerful meditations I've ever created. And everything I've learned there, everything I've learned about identity shifting is in that course, and it helps you to do just that. It's exactly why I'm able to live the lifestyle I currently am. I'm now developing and wiring in a new identity of me traveling the world and doing events. You'll see that happen in the next couple months, but nonetheless, I want to show you that exact process. It's very easy to apply. You just have to make that choice to do so. Maybe part of that radical choice is you choosing to check that out right now and choosing to join, and to also you become a part of a high vibe tribe. If you join right now as well, there's something else you'll get. You go to theshiftexperience.com, and what you'll see there is you can join. You will get a frequency call for free. A frequency call is where you get to talk to me or one of my coaches, and we will help you wire in that ideal frequency of that perfect version of you and give you a game plan towards wiring that in. So if you join right now, you go to theshiftexperience.com, we will give you that as well. That's something I just now decided I'm going to do, just as added incentive for you to really create that identity shift. So with that being said, remember, radical action in a new way of being, radical emotion and a new state that you wire in, or the shift experience altogether will help you to facilitate this process to happen easier than ever. And part of that is you can put yourself into a completely new identity that changes everything. So with that being said, if you want me to do more videos outside, maybe even with a view, go and smash that like button. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this video in general. And other than that, as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.